see. What are you thinking of getting so far? That's cool. I like where that's going. It is hard to pick, isn't it? It's so permanent. But I think that if you feel like it makes you happy inside 100%, that's probably a good sign. Or excited. Yeah. I know, I didn't really have a lot of trouble deciding myself. I think that since I was 18, I had a very clear desire to get a tattoo, and I just had always been attracted to them myself, so I really like it. Sure, I can show you the tattoos I got. Maybe it'll help you decide where you want to put yours. You never really asked. You're asking now. You're asking nicely. Okay, I will indulge you then. I can also tell you how much each one hurt. Yeah, we don't really have the same pain tolerance, huh? And I think needles are a little different for everyone. But I really think you'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. Alright, I'll show you. Should I start chronologically? I think that is what makes the most sense for you. Okay, fine. You might have to get a little bit closer to see some of them though. Is that okay? I'll show you the first tattoo I ever got. I was 18. And it's actually a sister tattoo with my best friend from high school. Yeah. Okay, I got this first tattoo I got when I was 18. It says Carpe Noctem, and it's a little squished now over the years of me growing up, but it was a sister tattoo with my best friend in high school. She has one that says Carpe Diem, and I have Carpe Noctem, and hers is in the same place. And it's very special to me. And it's my very first one. I remember being very proud of it. It didn't hurt so much as it was super itchy and irritating. I was just so shocked about how intrusive the process felt. If you come back up here with me, you can see the second tattoo I ever got were these moon phases. Blue is my favorite color, and I really like the moon. I just remember being a teenager and walking home at night a little bit too late past my curfew, and it would be so dark and quiet and still, but there would just be the moon in the sky overhead, keeping me company while I walked home, and I just really feel so happy every time I see it. My third tattoo is kind of in a similar vein. I got the Leo constellation right here. I was really feeling like I wanted to channel some of the qualities of my zodiac sign. I was in a place in my life where I really was struggling to see my own strength. I found a lot of comfort in astrology and thinking about the bigger universe and the cosmos. It has definitely helped me as an anchor. My third tattoo is actually one that I ended up transforming a little later on. So I had gotten just this tarot card on my arm, and it's the 10 of Cups tarot card. As you can see, I kind of had a self-growth journey. This tarot card is the 10 of Cups, and it represents emotional fulfillment and that happy ending. Inside of this card, I had asked the artist to sketch a photo of my family. My parents are divorced, so this was the last full family picture we had taken together with my baby sister. I really wanted to create my own destiny of emotional fulfillment. I knew that I wanted a sleeve, and I knew that I wanted to have Eastern and Western mythologies and philosophies and themes on my arm. I am a first generation child here, and I really think the identity of being half Western and half Eastern in my culture is something that felt pretty contradictory my entire life, but I think I've made some peace with it now. And the world has become much more open and accepting too since I was younger. Those were the first three that I got. The moon and the tarot card, the Leo constellation. After this, I got my chess piece. It is my Chinese name, which is an interesting Leo-coded choice to put your own name on your body. I got this one in the same chapter of my life where I was just really trying to find my strengths and my identity and my sense of self. I was a dramatic kid, so I wanted to tattoo my Chinese name on myself so that I never forget the root of who I am. For my sixth tattoo, I got this. This is probably one of my favorite tattoos. It is a replica of a photograph taken in Italy. It's the statue made by Bernini, and it's Pluto and Proserpina, or Persephone, as she's more well known. And I love how well my artist did. It looks so mesmerizing that it's marble and the flesh looks so soft. I am obsessed with this statue. And again, Pluto in astrology has a pretty significant meaning for me, and it was once even my username on the internet, if you knew me then. This is probably still one of my favorite tattoos. Come down here. My seventh tattoo is a blue dragon on my arm. So for me, this blue dragon is a pretty classic symbol of my culture. By the time I got this piece done, I believe I was 23. After the dragon, I was still pretty into reconnecting with my roots and my culture, and at this time I was watching a lot of Cantonese dramas and shows and things like that, and I was watching a show that said this phrase that really stuck with me. In Cantonese, it says, 吃喝玩, 以早以晚. And roughly translated, it kind of means when you got to play, eventually you pay. I was a bit of a rebel as a teenager, and growing up was a lot of me learning to tame myself a little bit and realize the consequences to being too reckless, and I really just wanted to remind myself of the lesson that I had earned from all my years of rebellion. So around this time period is when I really put in a lot of action to fill up my arm. I still really love this tarot card tattoo and the emotional meaning behind it, but I did think aesthetically I was looking for a way to blend it into the rest of my arm. I asked my artist who did my dragon if she could help me do some talisman strings around it so that it looks more like a talisman, and this trails all the way around my elbow down to my forearm right here, and it just keeps going all the way around and loops right up here, and it's really pretty. She did a really good job, and I was very happy with the final look. I think it looked a lot more cohesive and started blending in with the other pieces of my arm that were accumulating. And so I'm very glad that she was able to help me do that. For my 10th tattoo, hello Earl. This is my cat Earl if you haven't met him yet. Maybe. Hi. For my 10th tattoo, it's a bit of a part 1 to a part 2. I had this phoenix outlined, and it's a perfect combination with the dragon. If you know anything about Chinese culture, you know the dragon and the phoenix are probably the most iconic duo. And in this time of my life, I was really on a journey of self-identity and sense of self. So I really wanted to depict the masculine and feminine energies inside of me with the dragon and the phoenix, and my own reconciliation and harmony of those energies inside of me. And without getting too losing critical thinking here, I really just enjoyed the symbolism and the familiarity of it. Every classic Chinese restaurant has giant golden structures of animals on their walls, and this is just one that has always been something I saw growing up. I believe my next tattoo after the ones on my right arm was another matching one with my high school bestie, who I got my very first tattoo with. We took a trip to Hawaii together, and it was the same story where it was late at night. We were just looking for an open tattoo parlor who would take us, and someone did, and they did some abstract wave lines for us to commemorate our trip together. It didn't heal the best, but I do think the memory of it made it so worth it. For my 11th tattoo, I got this really pretty star design that is designed a bit like a gauntlet, and I really love it. I think it healed very well, and the artist was a touring artist from South Korea, and I think it really completed my arm a bit more. I just love this one so much. I told him to go ahead and overlap it with the talisman from before. At this point, I had decided I really like overlapping tattoos, and I want more. For my 12th tattoo session ever, I did a part 1 of this phoenix. I had just gotten the sketch of it done first, because I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be filled in or if I wanted more of a sketchbook kind of look. And I really liked that sketch of a phoenix for a long time, and it was just a plain area on my arm. And then a year later, I did go back in to fill it in from the same artist, and she did an amazing job. She really made it look flame-like at the end, and I'm just really glad it came out very nice. I personally wanted to represent the masculine and feminine energies that are inside all of us, but particularly this one is for reconciling the opposing energies inside of me. I think it has been a challenge to introspect and see how I can become a more balanced person, but I'm hoping that we can figure that out together while we're here. It's just gonna be a constant practice, isn't it? To balance out all the meaningful, deep stuff. I next got a tattoo of Satoru Gojo. It's from an anime. If you haven't heard of him, he was a very famous character recently, and a very popular crush for a lot of anime watchers to have, and I was one of them. I did not escape unscathed. I wasn't really dating much at this time. I was still on my journey with myself and introspecting. I put this tattoo on the side of my chest instead, and it says, "It's okay." The perspective is a little funny here. But here's Gojo. It's a panel from the manga. This is the scene where he takes Itadori to go fight Jungo with him. Anyway, it was a good way for me to satiate this feeling of wanting to be genuinely and truly supported and taken care of, but also trying not to seek it outside of myself too much, if I could help it. My 13th tattoo. I got a chrysanthemum, and it's a chrysanthemum flower on my forearm right here. I thought it filled up the space really well, and again, the chrysanthemum flower is just such a childhood nostalgia for me. I remember going to eat dim sum with my family, and when I was a kid, all the adults would order like a darker bitter tea, and I would get chrysanthemum tea because it's just more palatable and easy to drink and less caffeinated. I was really happy to continue the theme of my culture's motifs. My 14th tattoo, I remember, was a little sillier. I just got a simple torch, and I wanted it to represent the eternal flame. In mythology, I was really, and still am, very obsessed with the intertwining of Eastern and Western cultures. So I really liked having all of that happening on my arm together, the way that my cultural identity is happening inside of me all together, all the time. That led me to get the 15th tattoo, which is a little peach. And the peach is so good. The detail is so good. In Chinese mythology, there is a famous celestial peach forest, and it really associates the fruits with themes of immortality. And I remember growing up and watching Chinese dramas, and there was always something funny happening at the peach forest. I really like that. I think it would be a good time. I want to visit one day. It's real. It's not real. Counting the torch and the peach, this one is my 15th tattoo, which sounds like a really big number, but I swear it didn't feel like I was that covered at all. After the peach, there was one major area on my arm that was pretty empty and I wanted to fill it up, and that was my elbow. This one, I am open to getting it touched up some more in the future, but I wanted the motif of a sun around my elbow joint. I was very committed to having a circle around my elbow. So now we have a circle around our elbow. I had wanted a traditional Asian art style of a sun and the clouds that you see in Chinese paintings under the dragon. They did a really amazing job with the clouds. Look at that. This is a traditional Chinese mountain, and the architecture. And there isn't any specific location or anything for this one. It's more so I wanted to complete the sun and the moon motifs, the dragon and the phoenix, the structural man-made items with the natural. I was a little obsessed with duality. I kind of still am. My elbow tattoo makes number 16, and it did hurt a little bit, but I will say, because I didn't go directly into my elbow, it wasn't too bad. However, I do want to maybe one day fill it in or cover it up or add something a little bit more to it, balance out this empty space. So I do want to do something about that. But right now it's not really the biggest priority. I feel pretty happy with how my arm came out looking overall, so it's okay. For tattoo number 17 and number 18, I got them this year in 2025, and they're both pretty special to me. I got a tattoo on the back of my neck. She got a death head moth for hers, and I did a Luna moth for mine, and I think it just really matches our personalities. It was her first tattoo, and I feel so honored to be the one that she got it with, and then I got to be there with her, and it was really, 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 really special and cool. That was a trip that we took with our father, and we had went back to go see family that we hadn't seen in like 12 years since my parents split up. So it was a pretty special, crazy trip. And I'm so glad that I have my sister to navigate life and family with, because no one else would understand how crazy family can be sometimes, right? My last tattoo is this one on my shoulder. I can take a little closer look. And it is a cyber sigil design, and I asked the artist to make it in the vague shape of a wing over my shoulder. I really wanted to cover up the space and bring up my sleeve a little higher on my arm. I really like how the design was made to wrap around my shoulder and just cut through the phrase I had put on my arm a few years earlier. At this point, when I had gotten this tattoo, I felt like I had really been focusing too long on punishments in life and started forgetting too about relaxing and having fun as well. And I think there's a balance there that can be struck. I felt like it was just the right thing to do, and visually I really like the overlapping tattoo look, so that's just my personal choice. I think it's a really great solution because I really see my tattoos as a bit of a journal of these big moments of my life that I felt like I had overcome or really had to endure, and also things that I was really interested and curious in and just wanted maybe more of. So I definitely like the idea of continuing tattooing on top of my tattoos and keep filling up my arm even more with my life graduations, my life stage graduations. So anyway, the cyber sigil wing for me was perfect, and I really wanted it to semi-wrap around my shoulder blade so that it would be kind of a wing. I got a single wing to represent the clipped wings of many children who come from dysfunctional families and had to grow up faster than they maybe preferred and take care of themselves earlier than they would have started to normally. So I got it to remind myself that even though my home life wasn't the most luxurious launch pad of my own pursuits, I truly felt that this year I overcame that feeling of disempowerment, and that it felt like finally maybe I could fly a little. And I just want you to know that a lot of it has been because of the community we created together. And I'm just so glad and happy that we can end the year like this together and happier, hopefully, a little bit more ourselves, and a little clearer about the things we care about. And I want you to know I really care about you. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. I love you very much. And I really hope you know how much I mean that. Okay? Thank you. I really appreciate you. And I hope that you'll send me pictures during your tattoo appointment. I want to see the process. Tell me what you end up settling on, or maybe I can help you share my opinion of how it looks. when you decide where on your body you want to put it. Yeah. Okay. Alright then, fine. I'll see you later.